All right, so I'm gonna be going over, all of this design stuff. And, so first step, once you're in Command, is you're gonna go down to the Designs tool, which is the third one from the bottom of the screen. Let's see here. Move my camera out of the way, so it gets it all the recording. So third one from the bottom is your Designs tool. See if that loads. Oh, there it is.
Come on.
All right, and so from this design page that you see here, it's gonna show you a history of all of the different things you've ever worked on. Whether it's, it was a social media graphic, or if it was a flyer template, anything like that, you're gonna find all of that here. And from here, it makes it easy to just take a design you've made already and make a copy of it, so you retain the original and then be able to just customize the copy if you just want to keep everything the same but just change,
Awesome.
the writing or the photos, that kind of stuff. You can do it from here.
All you have to do is click on it, or?
The three little dots that pop up when you hover over the design, and then you can make a copy here. Same, you can delete it as well if you don't need it to be on the screen too. And again, these are just past designs or past projects you've had open already, as you see here on the first screen.
Well, I accidentally clicked on one of those and it took me,
Into the
Design part.
and I'm having a hard time getting back.
Let's just click on the arrows on the top. The little arrow up there.
Oh,
Okay.
well,
One more time.
If you
Yeah.
select one of those and then click make a copy,
Mhm.
can you
No.
change the pictures on the copy that you make?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can do that
So you
too.
can edit everything on it?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it will,
I wish it opened like a separate page and it doesn't, it's weird.
yeah, see.
so I won't do it, so if I make, for example, make a copy of this, in a moment I should see, here it is,
That
a
works.
copy of, and
Oh.
then the name.
Uh-huh.
And then, just like if I were to click into any of these other ones,
Uh-huh.
if I click into it, then it's gonna open
Don't
up
click it.
that,
Or you go back to the
that design page.
And then you can rename it, right?
And yeah, and then you can also rename that copy from here
Mhm.
too, once you
Yeah.
name it.
So, right now, you're gonna show us how to pull one from the MLS.
Yeah,
Can I give you one to pull?
sure. So,
You guys are gonna work on it too, so you
Oh,
can.
okay.
We started with the new
Okay.
design?
Yeah, so listing.
so I'm gonna, go to create design, that's the button there on the top right corner. And then, I guess for this example, let's do a print template. So the way it breaks this down here on this screen is, the email templates will bring you to somewhere different, specifically to create emails. Social and print, will both take you to the same design page.
Can we do a
which I'll
social?
in a moment. Yeah, let's do
you.
social, and then you can check the box here, import photos and text from a listing, if you have a listing that you want to connect to, so.
And then I'll give you the listing number is,
Oh.
do the
No
listing
wonder I had such a hard time.
MLS number.
The MLS
Yeah.
number.
Sorry, I was saying listing, my bad. 21009759. I don't know if it's just me, but I've had trouble finding the address when I do it, so I
Mhm.
always put in the MLS number. The address,
Sometimes,
It won't
yeah,
pop up.
sometimes it
Yeah.
does, uh-huh.
Is it this one, Jonathan Court?
yes, correct.
Okay,
Come on.
so
What do you-
that is a good point, you mentioned that. Sometimes it is a little difficult for this page here to find something with the address.
Right here?
And then something to
Change it to MLS
keep a lookout for too is if you
I
find
don't know what the MLS number is.
the
Here,
listing
I'll-
here on this page,
I'll help you find it. Do know
sometimes you
what
might see a duplicate of it.
314.
And that's
Oh,
because
I've seen
the system that this is pulling the data from is
Oh.
referencing RMLS, it's referencing SRAR, it's referencing everything that's out there.
that.
So
So
if
it could
it's-
have more than one number.
Yeah, so exactly, if this
Right.
listing was entered into GAVAR and SRAR,
It won't find
you're gonna
it.
see it
It's
twice
too hard.
here in,
So change it back
you know,
to
in that
So lame.
in that
I know, that's
situation.
why my girlfriend was.
So where did you get that?
So for,
Go into the flex
this
and all
one,
that stuff.
you know, an
the
example
ones in
of,
zero.
well, this one just came up once, so I'm just
Find
gonna go
one, two,
ahead and
three.
select it from here. And so now, what that'll do is open the design page, which is something
Now it's exactly the same like him.
totally different here. And it didn't automatically load
The correct ones, that's so
the
weird.
template.
His did the same thing.
Yeah. So as of the time of this recording, or this, you know, this class, there has been some, a little bit of issues with the design page that we noticed recently, where some things, the templates won't load up right away, or the basic.
That's right, so we go to listing on the side,
Yeah,
and then we go to like do open house one.
yeah, so, in case you notice this, if you're in this tool, and, you know, you go from that first screen, but it doesn't take you directly to the design page, well then, you can just do it from here. Yeah, if you just go to the category, you go to open house, for
You could
example,
do, there's no pending, but you could do like a price update.
and then, from the next page here, it's gonna show you all of the different,
The
Just
templates
exercise in my book.
that are available,
Open house.
Well, I haven't closed
and
it.
you're gonna see things like, in your different,
Makes sense.
the different sizing up here.
Mm-hmm.
Social wide, will give you, and it tells you here too, wide format for use on Twitter, Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, and it gives you the exact size here. So depending on what you need and what it's gonna go on. Social square, you know, will tell you this is good for Instagram, Facebook post, LinkedIn, you know, more of a square shape. And then social stories, this would be good for Instagram and Facebook
Stories.
stories, yeah,
Mhm.
which are oriented the long way as opposed to sideways or being, you know, a square. So you have
Which
your,
do you think is the easiest to edit, to put the information?
They both work the same, it just depends on like, are you gonna do a post where you're gonna write words, or do you just wanna share it on your live feed, so, or like your story?
Yeah.
So it just depends, you might wanna do both. So, like, I normally do my social one, because it's long, but then I kinda like make it fit the post, so.
yeah. For most cases, I would say the social square is probably the most flexible.
Compatible,
Because it can go straight onto a Instagram post,
or, sorry.
or an Instagram, Facebook post or Instagram post. And, you know, you could still put it in a story, but just keep in mind, it's gonna be
A little
you know,
smaller.
a square as opposed to
Yeah.
the long
Yeah.
rectangle. That would kind of be the best to fit most uses. So let's, I'm gonna go ahead and click on this one, and I just click on use.
Wonder why they don't have a pending one?
They have, on the previous screen, there are different categories.
He looked, but the listing one doesn't show pending.
Oh, okay.
Well, I
Might
guess
be
you
like
could
a,
change it
under
though.
the,
Update.
To say pending.
under contract,
Oh, under
There
contract?
you go.
the under contract section, that might have, cause I've seen,
I see. Good to know.
I've seen them before.
Well, they may not use the word pending in some
You can
states.
always,
Yeah.
you can always, change it to, when you
Uh-huh.
click it, you can change it to say pending instead of under contract,
Yeah.
if you want.
Under contract works too.
Alright, so, in
And
this
then
case.
once you create one of these, you can use it as a template again, right? Like,
Yeah, to save it to
right?
your my
If you
templates.
save it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so, now that I have this template open, I've gotten to this point, the fact that I just have it open
Mhm.
is gonna put it on that very first screen.
Oh.
Again, if I need to make a copy of it,
Yeah.
or to just delete it, what have you, is gonna be on that first screen. Alright, so now that we're here, and because the screen from before didn't automatically pull in the listing, I can still open it if I go to the KWLS
House.
button
Mhm.
here on the left side. And then here I see that it did in fact pull the listing that I selected at first, but it just didn't
So,
kind of get over right
this
away.
picture.
But now that it's here, I can
Yeah.
select
Yeah,
it.
click it.
Or if you go straight to this page and you didn't select the listing at the beginning, you
Uh-huh.
can still go to this option, KWLS,
Okay,
and still do the search for it here
okay.
in this
Okay.
box.
Got it.
So which picture?
And you
would
should
like
still
to
come
go
up,
on?
see it pop up
Okay,
on the,
so
on the
you
list
do
here.
this,
Oh,
and replace
just
this
picture.
picture.
And now we just click on select.
Okay.
And so now you kind of just have to like.
And as soon as that is open, now it's gonna show me all of the different photos
Here's
that
what it's
were pulled in from that
Much
listing.
easier. Okay, so I was doing this super
Just
hard.
play with it.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Although you still have the option to
Pretty.
upload separate photos
This one,
into
one,
this.
this one,
Apart from this,
Or
this just makes it easier because it just pulls it in
Also,
right away.
remember,
Yeah.
right now we're gonna delete it
Oh,
because you
awesome.
added double pictures, hold on, delete it.
Alright, so then,
Unless it's not a KW
You wanna
listing,
click the picture
then it
first,
wouldn't
and then
be
it'll
Oh.
show you
right?
like
Or-
the little, which one were you gonna use?
Click the picture first.
because the backend
Go to
system
one, and
here
this is
pulls in
that-
from
It was replacing it.
many different kinds of MLSs.
Oh, okay.
The chances are it's highly likely that it will be here.
Okay,
Again,
If
just
it
because
has
it's,
some more
photos,
pictures.
of course. If it doesn't have any, then.
yeah, if it doesn't have any photos, then that, well, it's probably just gonna show you,
Uh-huh.
you know,
Yeah.
what was on there
Doesn't
on
show
the,
all of it,
on
does it?
that
It does.
particular MLS when
It
when the
should.
listing was put in.
If you have them in MLS, it should.
But typically, yeah, you're
Oh,
always
what I'm
gonna see
looking for is
photos.
not missing.
Interesting.
Oh, there it is.
Okay,
Alright.
awesome.
So then,
Clicked it, yep. there
now,
you
for
go.
example, I'm gonna go ahead and replace this image. So to do that, I'm just gonna click on it first.
Okay.
And the same process to replace these images applies to all of the other templates that are available.
Okay.
So it'll apply to the,
Oh, awesome. Perfect.
the flyer templates. I think there's even some postcard templates in here too. It's the same process applies to, across the board to all of these. So I'm just gonna click on it, and then over on the left, now that I have the photos up from the MLS, I can just click on this button to replace
Move
image.
faster.
Okay.
And as soon as I do that, it should just replace the image in there directly,
Awesome.
as opposed to,
She's killing me.
you know, clicking on it from here. It'll still let you, you know, put it up on top if you just
Uh-huh.
click
But
on
it's
it.
layering
Oh,
it over the other
like
one.
drag, like a
Mhm.
drag, you mean?
Yeah,
Okay. But it's
And,
just easier just to do it the way you said.
yeah, if it's, you know, the way the template is already laid out,
Yeah,
just to be able to just click on it and replace.
awesome.
And then, of course, all of this other stuff here, the writing,
Mhm.
you can, you know, go through it,
Change.
But-
change it, and.
Shouldn't you just be able to
You
pick up that from
can,
the
so
listing?
if you delete that, you go to listing details at the top.
Yeah,
And
so
then
then
it'll
you
show
have,
all that.
yeah, you could remove this, for example,
Oh,
go into listing details, which is the second tab
Mhm.
up here next to photos. And then it brings in all of the other stuff.
That way you don't have to type it, yeah.
Exactly, yeah, just like
Oh,
the,
so you just hit the little,
Add button.
oh,
Mm-hmm,
so like there's the address.
oh, the add button.
mm-hmm. So now it has your address, so
And I
you
can go
just move it to where you can
Remove
see
the
it.
old one.
So before you had to use this button, now
oh,
you
so
have to
you
use this
click
button.
on
Yeah,
the
because you're replacing the
template
picture.
image
So right
first,
now, we're
and
adding
then you can
information.
hit the
So
little.
that's
Why do
nice
they
to
have
add.
this button here at all?
Right.
If you want.
Well, that's just to
click
replace the
here,
photos,
replace
you have to
the
click
word.
on the image
Like-
first.
like
Uh-huh.
here, it has your address.
But I mean, for
But
the
you
writing,
saw how
for
the
like
ones have already some
the
information.
details,
Mhm.
You can click replace it.
Like if you
but this
click
one
on
doesn't have
the
it,
address-
So you're
Something
adding
like that
it.
box.
it
So
won't,
that's the box that you
how did
just
you
brought
get
in.
that little
So
other button?
we click here,
That was on
move
the
it
left right
up.
there next to the plus.
And then we wanna.
Oh, this here?
I brought
Yeah,
that
you
button.
had a
Um,
different
Because you
button
click
before?
add the address.
That was next to
Mm.
it?
But you already have the address.
Under the
No,
photo.
No, it was on the.
No, he
listing.
changed
On
the
the
address
listing
here
details,
and
sorry.
added that at the same time.
And yeah, it just comes up just like this,
So-
and I can just click on any of these, and it'll bring it over.
Oh,
So
okay,
just click on it.
okay.
So like,
Oh, like that.
price, for
Did you
example,
want to add anything else?
I can just click on that, and it's
Yeah,
gonna
so
bring
this one we want to change
up the
that.
price section.
Oh, yeah,
And
that,
of course, I'm not limited to just like the way
And
this,
you can add
this
your
looks or the sizing
So
of
there's
this
one.
text.
I need a better one.
Yeah, so.
Now that I,
initial
you know,
see
have it
how to add
down
the
here,
logo, 'cause
I
don't know
have
how to
all of
add
my customization tools at the top of
Font
this one.
size, okay.
So font, style, font size, bold, for example, so the is
Oh,
bigger.
come on.
You know, all of this is available at the top of
Is the logo on the upper right, does it automatically, oh, no, you pick it.
Oh, let me, so automatically, it won't bring in your actual logo. It's gonna default to this Keller
To the ones
Williams
you have there. Which is- Yeah, no, that's fine.
generic one,
Yeah,
which, it should be replaced every time.
yeah.
And, the next thing I'll get into.
Well, if you have it as a template, it would already be there, right?
The,
If you already have a design already set up pretty much and you're just gonna use it as a template, it should already be there, right?
oh, yeah, so, you know, after I'm done customizing this, you know, and it'll save it, you know, how I left it the last
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
Then I know I can go back on that first screen, make a copy of this last design that I made, and it'll retain, yeah, things like the logo, you know, after you've set it the first time,
Okay.
and basically anything else that was left on this template when you were last working on it.
Awesome.
And then, yeah, you do have everything else in here as well, like the property description, so like that, you know, whatever that whole long bit of text is,
Mhm.
you do have it here, you can just click on it, and
Shorten
then
it.
you have it
Mhm.
on
Oh,
the
shorten
side.
it, I'm saying.
Yeah, so like, for example, if you were gonna use this template, and then put in the property description, you would have to, you know, move it around and work with it.
Oh, that works. Cool.
Or, you know, do something like this where you can, you know, drag the side of the box to make it smaller. And what it should do, it should automatically
Align it.
confine it to that space. Same with anything else that is,
I noticed that when you click the add 3, like bedrooms, it only adds the number 3, no? Or am I doing it wrong? Like,
yeah, it'll,
only add the
that
number?
one's a little weird, it just puts in the number
Yeah.
and not the, you know, 3 bedrooms or, you know, 2 bathrooms.
So in that case, we just add 3 and then type in bedrooms or.
Yeah,
bed.
exactly, you could just,
So 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Okay, I was wondering if it was just like, I was doing it wrong or.
yeah, it's a little, oh, wrong button. The options that are in there are, you know, something, you just gotta make them work.
Mhm.
It says, the price and then it says USD right after it, well, I don't need that, and I can just remove it.
Like the square footage, does that one only add the numbers too?
That, yeah, this will also just be the numbers
Okay.
and where it says, you know, square foot.
Oh, the square feet does get added, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
SF. Alright,
But
so
the word
then,
living area doesn't,
so then,
Oh,
let me,
and there's no comment in the 1694.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so it's just like, you know, it comes through exactly how it is.
Oh, it has exactly how it's, okay, the dark spot, got it.
So I'll get into how to get the logo saved in here, in just a moment, but if you have them already loaded in here, same thing, you can just click on the logo that's available, or the one that's already in the
I need to
template,
learn how to download our logo too.
and then go over
Yeah.
to where your logos are saved,
Yeah,
and then
That's the one
also
I
just
have.
click the same replace
I
button,
guess we all have.
so that so that it's just automatically there and you can just select it anytime. Alright, so let's, just for the sake of this example,
Sunday,
um,
November 21. March, Sunday, November 11, no, 10
Oh.
to 12:30.
What was that?
10 to 12:30.
12. And, you know, of course, if this doesn't fit, you can, you know, click on it and, sometimes if
Are
it's
you
too hard
clicking tab
to.
or what are you clicking?
Sometimes if it's too hard to, sometimes it's a little tricky to use the mouse
Mhm.
to move the stuff around,
Uh-huh.
you can use the arrow keys on the
Oh,
keyboard as
interesting.
well. Just
That's good
to
know.
nudge stuff over just a bit if
Oh,
you need
okay.
to. Because especially on smaller screens,
Yeah.
this gets a little, you know, sometimes it's a little hard to work with.
Okay.
Although you do have zoom options down here at the bottom,
Oh, okay.
where you can,
Oh,
if there's just like that one little bit you gotta
Where you
move around,
got it. Like that each office, if it's so tiny, right? Oh,
Yeah.
got it.
or if something's on top of it and you can't click on it because something else is close by.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it's help if you're just able to zoom in
Okay. I
as
didn't know
far
that.
as you
Cool.
need and, you know, be able to.
And that's not necessarily making your design bigger, it's just helping you look at it bigger.
Yeah,
Okay.
just making the screen bigger.
Okay, that's why I didn't touch it, I thought it was like gonna change the sizing.
You know, it would look like it does that, but it's just
Okay.
the screen size. And then up here at the top of the page,
Oh, you can rename.
you can rename it, because it's gonna just have a generic name.
Mhm.
This is definitely useful to keep track of
3832
these,
Jonathan Court or
these-
something.
These items, yeah, so you
Okay.
can name it off of the address,
Mhm.
and then you can even call it, the capital is turned on, John.
What the heck?
What'd you do?
All I did was put
And you
the
can call
address,
it like open house.
Oh.
and then it wiped everything out.
You probably, go to the little arrow, undo that one.
And then something also to keep in mind too is, this automatically saves, it's just saving every change that you make in the background. So you don't have to worry about clicking save or, you know, worrying about it's not saving your changes. It is in the background.
Awesome.
So, and then from here, you can now download this template to your computer. So let's say I'm ready to send this over to Facebook or Instagram.
Mm.
What I can do is I can click the download button, and then I'm gonna have my save options here at from the screen.
It was this one.
So you wanna keep this in mind. So JPEG and PNGs are both image files. And image files are the ones that you can use for those purposes, for, to, you know, put them anywhere online, so Facebook, Instagram, anywore that, you know,
So
would use.
it's
an
best
image
to
file.
select either of those two, a JPEG
I
or,
took a picture of it,
That's it, right?
as far as I can
Um,
tell.
And then on the
Oh.
opposite hand,
I think that's.
PDFs are good for printing. Yeah,
okay.
PDFs are best for printing, and will not work if you're trying to upload them into.
To social media.
Yeah, Facebook or Instagram, because those are, it's a totally different type of file, and it's not gonna work. So, you know, depending on what you're trying to do here, if you're gonna use this ultimately to print it out.
Can you do both? Can you save it as a JPEG and then go back and
Mhm.
save it as
Yeah.
a PDF? Okay.
Mhm.
You're downloading it, so right now, when you do it,
Uh-huh.
when you download is when you can change it to both, so you'll
Okay.
download it to your computer, and then that
Yeah.
way you change it to both.
Say you're gonna post it on Facebook,
Mhm.
but then you're gonna print flyers for your
Yeah.
open house.
So then you can download it and then save it like the other format.
Yeah, it'll just work,
Awesome.
it'll just work the best for those
I
two.
hit
Question.
This
download.
is so much easier.
So now it went to your computer. Did you write it?
Alright, so then, for this example, let me just go ahead and save this as
Picture of
a
it.
JPEG.
Wait, let's see what.
So
it
I
does.
just
See if it
click
opens.
JPEG, and I always like to increase the quality, this little slider to the max. By default, it's set to like 80 or
Did you
90.
save it? It has the
Um,
picture on
I just, you know, like to just grab that, put it to the max, and
Okay.
then hit download.
So when we're going into social media, do you recommend doing the PNG or the JPEG one?
There's very little difference between the two, only in terms of quality. The one thing though that's different between the two is if you select, JPEG, you get these options. If you select PNG, you have the option to turn it into a transparent
So,
background.
Can you go over that? I don't know exactly what that means.
So, a transparent background is, it's like it'd be just like a graphic without the background. So in this case, let me choose this one, PNG, and then do the transparent background.
So we can see it, okay.
I'm gonna click on download. And I already had the first one downloaded,
Okay.
the JPEG version.
Okay.
And then keep in mind, by default, these will tend to get saved to your downloads folder on your computer unless it asks you
Where do you wanna put it?
where you would like
Okay.
to save it. It's
Yeah.
different on every computer and,
Uh-huh.
different computers and such.
It didn't save it how you have it saved up there, that's interesting.
That's, sometimes those will happen too,
When you
where
download it, okay.
it'll download it with the name before you renamed it. But I know for a fact these are my two files, so, here's the JPEG, version of it, so exactly how I had saved it. And then here's the PNG with the transparent. However, because the background of this image viewer is white, it doesn't look like, it did anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't, but I think if so like even here, I'm switching between the two, I don't notice a difference again because the background of this thing is white. Let's see here. Here we go. Let me switch this to dark. And reopen the JPEG. Here we go.
Okay.
Oop, wrong thing. And then here we go. That's a better
Oh, okay. I see.
example of
Mhm.
what the background looks like. Yeah, again, we couldn't notice a difference because the background of this
Uh-huh.
picture viewer was white, so it was blending in with
Mhm.
the background of
Got it.
the file. So that is the main difference between the two types. But again, it gives you the flexibility to be able to do that if that's what you were looking into doing, is, turning this graphic into something without the background to be able to use somewhere else. That's what the PNG would be best used for. And similar to before, as we were talking about, if I download this instead as a PDF,
Mhm.
and I guess really the difference between these two, standard and PDF for printing,
Uh-huh.
is that standard doesn't give you any additional options here, and PDF gives you all of this stuff like crop marks and, all, these are specific to like more professional printing, where they might need like the guidelines and things like that. This would give you, the second option would give you these tools if you ever need them. But I'm just gonna click on download, and then similar to just the file before, it'll save it again, but this time as a PDF. And then something to look out for is if you click download and you notice nothing's happening, the little indicator of what's going on, it will show up on this part of the screen. I don't know if you noticed it just a second ago. It's gone now.
Uh-huh.
But it says preparing, and then it'll say downloading, and then until it's done. It shows up here, I've noticed that.
Can you add your own logos to Command?
That's what he's gonna show us.
Other than on your profile?
Yeah, so then, if I open this up real quick, here's the PDF of the file that I just worked on. So, all right, so then let's look at these logos here.
So my assets are logos you personally downloaded in, correctly?
mhm.
Okay.
So easiest way to get out of this screen here is I could click on the
Oh,
PW
okay,
button.
okay.
Or you can click on,
If you click home, it takes us to the others, another one. It's a little different. It's not, doesn't send us to this home.
yeah,
So,
that's actually what I meant to do. Instead of going back out to the dashboard
that's
here.
funny.
I meant to,
go to the other home
Go-
for the design home, right?
yeah, the
Got it.
design home.
Cause sometimes I'm trying to get back to the other side and I have to always click back arrow, cause I didn't know
Yeah.
the KW sent takes you back to command. Okay,
Yeah, this really
got it.
should just say someone here back to command or
Right?
something. Instead of just KW.
Cause when I click that home, I'm like, oh, I don't wanna go here, I wanna go to command, but that's funny.
So instead of that, I'll click on home, which brings
Okay.
me back out to the main screen here.
Okay,
And now I can go on to,
assets, or my design, okay.
I can go into assets here.
Oh, and this is where we add our logos.
Yeah,
Oh, this is kinda like Canva, where you do the color, your logo colors. Oh, that's
Okay, so tell me
cool.
how you got there again. Okay, so you go,
and so easiest
From your
way to get
design.
into this page is if you're, let me go here.
My designs.
Let's
so
say,
designs.
My designs. mhm.
actually, I'm just retracing the
Pretend you
steps.
just
Okay.
finished your flyer.
Yeah, let's say you just finished your
Okay.
flyer.
Okay,
I'm just gonna click on the home button. And then it's gonna bring me back out to the,
Design home.
the design homepage.
Okay, my design, so. it's-
And then up here at the top of the page, I'm looking for assets. The assets button.
okay.
The colors and fonts, this color palette,
KW colors?
yeah, I'm not 100% sure when this comes in, or I know I probably missed it. But what we're looking for here is images.
Images. Oh, and this is where we can add our, oh, okay, okay.
So images is probably where you're gonna find your headshot
Okay.
of all things. That comes over from the marketing profile
And I haven't added it,
in,
okay.
in Command.
Got it.
That's where you'll find it here.
Okay.
But you can also upload it directly to this page too, just to, you know, avoid the marketing page in Command.
Mhm.
You can just upload it here directly.
Okay.
And all you have is the upload button, over here on the top right corner. And then you can just select my device to import from, and then it's gonna ask you here
Where your logo is, oh, okay,
where
okay.
your logo or.
Picture or what we're looking for. Got it.
And then it's gonna add it to the screen.
And now every time we go to the section that says my assets, that will show up. Got it. Cause right now what I've been doing is upload it as a photo every single time and I'm like, I know you have to be able to do this, but okay, thank you. For the text, is the text, oh look, the logos. So if we did the logo one, that's where it would go. Ah,
Yeah.
got it.
So you have your different sections here.
Mhm.
Images would just be where the, you know,
Headshots.
your headshot would
Okay.
most likely go. And other images, you do have that option. But specifically on the logos
That's where your.
is
okay.
where, you can upload these here.
Okay, and that's where we can do the Antelope Valley one you have, and then, okay, got it.
Yeah, exactly, and you can do things too, like, with our Antelope Valley logos, we have versions with the background, we have versions without it,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
we have some with,
That's the one you emailed me, right?
yeah,
Okay.
that's, and you have ones like with the white text and some with the gray text,
It all
depending
depends on your
on,
flyer.
what template you end up using and what, you know, what would fit
Where
best
would
with
you
it.
suggest to upload, like, say you have your signature, it has like your picture and like everything else?
Probably photos, right?
Images?
Images, yeah, would be a good place.
Yeah, I've used that too, my signature, and I tagged it at the bottom of
Uh-huh.
the thing, cause it looked good, yeah. And it has everything there, like, you don't
Yeah.
have to worry,
Mhm.
yeah.
Text is,
Oh, so
text
that's.
is a different thing here.
Oh.
This is where you can actually save things like,
Our DRE number, our phone
the,
number.
your biography,
I
if you have
fix stuff
something.
sometimes, I like that.
I
am
forgot
like-
that, I
fix
forgot
stuff
that was
sometimes.
there.
Oh, that's funny.
Things like, just like your name,
Uh-huh.
the office
Oh.
address, so
Uh-huh.
what it makes it is just clickable.
So that I don't have to type it every time.
Yeah, so you don't
Time
have to type
saver.
it every time.
Wow, this is a lifesaver right here.
And you can go
Or you
here to
just do it all in
new
one.
field,
Yeah,
and it'll ask you here what,
but
what,
remember some of the
is the
flyers have
category?
like tiny, so it's like,
I know, well, that's why I was saying the designs like,
they have a lot of white space. So this one, maybe we
Yeah,
could
the
do
ones
one
that-
with everything together and then them separate in case it's a flyer. Oh, that's a good idea. Thanks, guys.
and if you go to new field here, it gives you the, what section you're looking
Uh-huh.
at to put in.
Oh, okay.
So that's images, logos, elements here. This is gonna probably be like, just a separate section that you can, again, import stuff into.
Oh, so this one we could maybe
Like
add
what?
like stickers, you know how they say coming, like pending, you know how he wanted to do a pending? Maybe if you have
Yeah.
like a cute little GIF that says pending, then you
Oh.
write that, cause it says, stickers,
Mhm.
shapes,
Uh-huh.
okay, or maybe the video one.
And, let's see
Little
here.
house or.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so it's okay, JPEG and PNG files.
And do GIFs go on under those or no? Do GIFs go under any of those?
It doesn't specify here for GIFs.
Oh, okay, okay.
So it may not work for those.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you can do, graphics and other things.
Okay.
What
What is the videos one, do you know?
So this is, what this is, it looks like you're able to pull in videos
From YouTube?
using this,
Interesting.
using this tool. You can upload, or use the YouTube link. So this would be if you have the video already added to
Already
YouTube,
made,
and
okay,
you can get the link and, put it in here to then add it.
okay.
As opposed to upload, that would have, the video
Computer.
file would have to be on your, saved already to your computer
Okay.
in order to import it. So I guess that's
That wraps this one up.
that's a little bit on kind of everything here. You also have the My Design section, which again is just like what was on the very first page, where you can look at,
That's where all the ones that we open save to, so this is where our
Yeah.
templates are. Your
and
touch
then
templates.
this
So
also
much
gives you
easier.
some.
Right?
What's that?
She said so much easier and I said, right?
Yeah.
than how I was trying to do.
And then this will also give you some options here as well, where you can,
Resize.
again, duplicate,
Oh, okay.
rename the file,
But in
delete
most
it.
cases, we don't use, I mean, like in our case, because we're doing open houses, and if it's our listing, we'd want to save it. But in our case, we could just keep editing that one, right? Because
Mhm.
obviously, we're like, we only do it that one time, most of the time, and that's it. Okay.
Yeah, which, could, help you save, some time in the future
If we have a listing and we might do it again, and then, okay.
Yeah, if you have a listing, you might do it again, you already had your
Yes,
logo,
save one.
your photo, all that stuff saved on one,
Okay.
to just make a copy of it and, change up the copy of it, and use that one.
Could you share, like right now that you just made that, can you share that with me so that I could open it and touch it, or no? Once you create it, no one can edit it, only you?
That is a
I was just wondering.
great question. Let me see.
Row. Let's space it, maybe if you space my last name. Oh, come on.
It's thinking.
Okay, we have some,
Why doesn't it find me? Weird. Maybe we have to have like special access or something.
Only invited members.
this might be,
Try her name, maybe you find her name. I think we have to have access, like, cause like Kama does that, oh, you're on there? Hi, my name knows, I'm like, okay, you can share it with me, maybe you can find me.
Okay.
yeah, let's see what this does.
This is cool, it's gonna give her access to it so she can edit from her command. Like Canva has the same thing, that's why I was
Yeah.
wondering. Why
Um,
can't my name pop up?
Yeah, that is,
I'm gonna ask you to just add my logo for me and share with me.
let's see, share.
That's so weird. Maybe try row and then my first name or something. How weird. Doesn't like me.
Let's see.
So later when you go home, go to your command and see if what it sent you. That's cool. I just,
Yeah,
I
looks
just
like,
showed you guys a new trick. But apparently it doesn't like me.
So I'm curious to see what that looks like on the other end.
Other side, right?
If it sends you an email, or if it,
It just shows up on your.
or if it just shows up in your
Yeah.
command page once you're here.
I know, I'm such a curious person. Check your command.
Well, not my email. That's what-
Oh, that's so funny.
Hopefully this thing's charged.
I know mine died, that's when mine's closed. I didn't bring the charger
I guess
today.
this, well, for the most part, at least for this recording anyway, I guess this is pretty much it.